Ask and you'll be given the key to this heart of mine. I'll be waiting there with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. La, la, la. Welcome to my world.
You may have heard. Did you hear that on the TV?
The talking
song.
about the.
No,
yeah.
did you hear the song?
Yeah, we were hearing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what. Okay, well, we weren't hearing what you were. Were you just talking to?
Oh, yeah, well, I guess I was just talking.
Yeah, you were. But now you're on the TV talking.
Yeah. So anyway, me and the boys have some songs that are rock songs, and they don't sound like Elvis or anything.
Well, now
And I know I don't look like Elvis. But,
what's the deal with this one? Now, where'd you get those backup singers?
well, now that's off of one of the Big Mama's karaoke CDs from
Uh-huh.
Big Mama's over in Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
They sell the karaoke style version, so I bought some of the soundtracks for that in order to be able to use. Now, most of the songs that I sing from Elvis are the 70s shows like he did when he was here last.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to see that. I took Lisa Morgan on a date. She like to fell off the balcony trying to grab a scarf, but bless her heart, she didn't. So that was a long time ago, though. It was in the early 70s.
Yeah. My favorite trivia question is, where did Elvis shoot his last TV? And it was in the Ramada Inn in Asheville, North Carolina.
Is that
He
true?
did an
That is
interview
true.
down there, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
His last TV.
the last one he shot. He liked to shoot TVs. You know.
Oh, that shot his last
I mean,
TV.
literally.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. I did hear something about that. You want to play us a song with your guitar?
Don't bring him bad coffee, right? So I mean, just.
Yeah.
You want to sing us a song with your
Well,
guitar?
I'll do that in a minute. I think I may have to cough actually before.
All right, we'll cough a little bit. Wondering which microphones to turn up, which microphones.
I've not been feeling well again for the
I'm
last
sorry.
couple of weeks. That's why I hadn't come back around after I was trying to get you to listen to that other bits and pieces of that CD. We actually got 4 songs on here that are mine, that are complete rock songs. And you were talking about maybe learning how to do some of the technicalities with audio and such, and even placing it together with the visuals. So I'm really serious about wanting to get a show on every week. I want to do a soil and water report, or at least once a month. Bring the people up to date on what we're doing in that office, and promote some local music too. Some folks that might not otherwise come down here, sing the lax, folks that really aren't out playing on the scene. But the Asheville's full of great, talented people of all kinds, and
We are, as they say, the woods are full of them around here, aren't they?
the woods are full, and greatly the bad thing is it seems like in the music industry we was on the wrong side of the woods, but I think for the music industry they were on the wrong side of the woods. I think that they have overlooked a lot of the talented folk here in this side of the Appalachian, and they probably shouldn't have. And,
Well, no, you mean Nashville as compared
right,
to
it
Asheville?
used to be if you kind of just took your knocks, and put in your dues playing for 20 or 30 years around America, that you'd kind of work yourself to the top. Nowadays, they just find some good-looking dude in a hat or a pretty girl in a pair of jeans, and that's what they push, because they just the market's there to be able to do it. So it's not quite the same as it used to be. I mean,
They can put the computer program on you that can make you sing on key.
right? Yeah. Yeah,
And sound good.
They can do that.
And you can just make any kind of caterwauling you want in the microphone. And
Or
can
they
make
can
it.
pull a Milli Vanilli and you not even be singing at all. So,
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, those kind of things, you know, and I wanted to do that for some of the folks around here. This is my old beat up guitar, and I hardly ever drag it out of the house. I
Have
just
you-
wanted to do one and come down and have a cup of tea. Where's the orange tea, by the way?
Orange tea.
Yeah,
You,
regular tea.
regular tea. Well, we
You got
don't
any
have.
of that today?
No,
What are you
you
drinking?
could mix some of that and that. That's what I've been doing. I think it mixes good.
All right, I'll just
Mix
take,
as well.
Mixes well.
I'll take your,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I corrected the
That's okay.
mad scientist. Amen.
Pour that one very easily.
that's orange tea.
All right, now put some of the other in there. Here, I'll put some of the other in there.
I'm not very steady with them things.
There.
They also patch this left arm on up there at the VA.
Now there's sugar in the bowl there if you like
Yeah,
it.
I remember the sugar bowl. I'm shrinking or something.
But I'm wanting to know what you're gonna sing for us. Are you gonna sing a song? Have you written it? Or is it a song you've
I've
written?
got a book full of songs I've written, yeah. Yeah, it'd be one that I've written.
Well, that's good.
And just an acoustic deal. Nothing crazy rock or crazy or nothing.
We like to hear a good original tune, but as a matter of fact, Nashville aside, a lot of the writing and performing talent came out of the Appalachians right over in our area.
Well, yeah, as a whole. I'd
You know,
say
and
you're
and
right,
uh,
man.
and even the people in Nashville that are well known, they highly respect what comes from our side of the mountains. People like Doc Watson and stuff like that
Oh
are.
yeah, well he's one of the ultimate. Billy Ed Wheeler lives out in Swannanoa, wrote "Coward of the County" and a number of the big hits.
And very few
Elvis
people are
and
aware of it.
Jackson, yeah.
Elvis was doing some of Billy Ed's
Yeah,
tunes along the way there too.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the folks that have been recognized have been very successful. For what
David
they've
Holt.
accomplished.
David Holt's got a good career going.
Oh yeah, he sure does. You know,
Hey there, we have
hello.
we have another new member joining in.
I know one of the best musicians that was ever in this area, all around musician. It seemed like he could just play anything and entertain everybody, and that's Mark Kirkendall. And
Oh, yeah.
I think Mark's,
Yeah.
I don't know if his health's good right now or not, but he's one of the best musicians in the neighborhood. Always was, and of course he did that stint with Bill Monroe. And
Yeah, well, Raymond Fairchild out in Maggie Valley has never got the recognition nationally he should have got, but he's great.
No, I don't reckon. That's few. How are you, sir? I'm Jeff Turner. We haven't met, but I've seen your show on TV several
Yeah.
times.
All right. Yeah. I'm Casey Waters.
I don't guess I've officially met Ralph. It just seems like everybody knows him already. So,
We've talked before.
yeah. And yes, I'm a Navy vet. So,
You always come in representing the
it's a way of life.
the veterans. You know your presence here usually is you come on representing veterans.
Well, I
As a
try.
rule.
I hope to think somebody still representing us because it
Yeah.
sure it seems like when you try to deal with some agency that's supposed to be representing them, it's always a headache from the dark sides of the, you know, where I ain't gonna say, but
Yeah, I've heard of some real good work that's been done by some of the people that work with the Veterans Administration and stuff, getting some clinics and stuff like that down east. They've opened
Yeah.
up a clinic that's
Well,
realized
they're-
on that way.
The real unsung heroes of the fight with the VA, or at least keeping the VAs on their P's and Q's, are the service officers that work for the different veterans organizations
Right.
like the Veterans of Foreign Wars and
Exactly.
the American Legion and AMVETS and so
That's
on.
right. And calling attention to the need in their
Yeah.
area for things going on. Yeah.
Yeah, back in
American
the
Legion.
'80s, I published the Carolina Veterans News, which covered North and South Carolina. I was the editor and the publisher, and did most of the work. So I really got into the VA politics and everything. Now, I must say the VA has improved dramatically since then. They're
Yes, sir.
really a good group of people out there.
I actually have no complaints here with the hospital or the staff here. They're a great bunch of people, and a lot of those folks has been working there actually just about as long as I've been out. I got out
Yeah.
in '79, and So they've really been wonderful to me. The nurses, the doctors, every one of them up there, they deserve kudos. Actually, where you have your problems is when you're trying to prove that you actually are entitled to your benefits. That seems to be the stone wall that everybody has to dig, jump, go
Paperwork.
around.
Oh yeah, it's the paperwork.
It's very difficult when you're already so messed up. You're having to beg for help anyway,
I know,
and
that's
then they
right.
put you through the ringer, you know, 10 times.
That's what makes it hard, so hard is you're not usually involved in a thing like that until you hit bottom, till you're
Right.
about as far down as you've been, when you don't have enough energy and stuff like that to hardly even walk around or do something like that, and that's really when you need the help, and it's the time that it's the hardest to deal with that kind of stuff. And I know, because I had heart attacks and stuff like that. And
Right.
what they do is they set you out of the hospital and they say, now keep stress out of your life, and then they give you bills for more money than you've ever seen in your life.
Can't even count that high. Yeah. Well, no, I'll tell you what, you hear a lot of bad horror stories out of the VA, but I'll tell you, I've had 8 surgeries up there, and I'm here to tell you that my arm's still hooked on. It's limited use. They've cut my lung out. I've had other surgeries, all kinds of things going on up there, and I think it's the best care that anybody could get anywhere, personally, for my level of saying so. I know others has had bad time, but it's just not a common characteristic. I'm there a lot. I've been there a lot for the last 3 years on this cancer study thing. They're scratching their head wondering why I'm still here and most people ain't. And I attribute it all to the good Lord, the ladies at church praying, and selenium.
Oh, very.
Oh, yeah?
Took on my own at the health food store. It seems to stop the vessels from tumors
Right.
from growing, and if you don't get no blood, it don't grow, which kind of makes a whole lot of sense. It works for me anyway. I'd
Well,
say that's-
So do you
Good,
take
you're alright.
a selenium supplement as a tablet?
Yeah, it's just a tablet, but you kind of got to watch that stuff. You can OD just on
Yeah,
those
you can.
things that you get from this health food stuff, so you need to pay attention to your labels, and always consult your doctor before you take anything other than food or drink. You know.
Do you get this from the from a health food store, or can you get it at
Yeah, I bought mine down in the mall there without naming the name. I don't actually remember nutrition something. And but yeah, it was a counter product. It wasn't very expensive, and of course I did the research. I had a lot of folks digging, you know, because I wanted to find a way other than through chemotherapy or
Right.
radiation to fight this.
Right. Well,
It just seems like everybody does that, don't win. So
Yeah, that's right. I tend to agree. It usually goes downhill.
Well, they told me 35, 65 was my chances before they cut my lung out. And I told the doctor, these are my exact words, I do not have time to die. I don't accept
time to
it. It
die.
ain't going to happen. I got too much stuff left to do and too many memories to make, and I ain't going to die. And I'm sitting here 3 years later, basically.
ain't got time to die.
I ain't got time to die and fixing to look at doing a TV show. So
Sounds
I'm not
like a good
slowing
name.
down.
Sounds like a good name for both a song and a TV show.
Yes, sir.
No time to die.
So, well, yeah, that would be a good one. And, you're welcome to use it anytime you wish.
No, it's your show. I got plenty of my own.
Yeah, well, yeah, you do seem to have a good head full of good lines there.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do one for you. I'm not really saying anything today, so I might scratch and creak a little bit. But if any of y'all heard
Warm
that,
up a little bit.
oh, well, let's say I ain't too much for warming up. I just jump in the water and start swimming
Yeah,
around.
you warm up
Yeah,
as you
so-
go. Yeah.
But I was having some problems trying to figure out what I wanted to sing.
Now, which tea's which, John?
China black. This is in there. Green tea in here.
Okay.
Flowery tea in here. Jasmine.
I'll put this one.
I still have some memories to make. I still have untraveled roads and unused paths to take. I never knew that much of love, but what I did, for heaven's sake, yes, I still have some memories to make. never knew that life would be this way. Take and give and give and take the long, the endless days. I never knew that much of love, but what I did was hers to take. Yes, I still have some memories to make. I never knew that life would be this way. I take and give and give and take the long, the endless days. I never knew that much of love, but what I did's for heaven's sake. Yes, I still have some memories to make. I never knew that much of love, but what I did's for heaven's sake. Yes, I still have some memories to make. Yes, I still have some memories to make. Memories to make. Memories to make. And that's what I wanted to do. Thank
All
you.
right.
I hope that didn't hurt people too much.
All right.
You
But
sounded
so
nice.
yeah, I think I'm a candidate for a lot of the classes that you were talking about, and I'm gonna try to be down here for as many as I can, the health permitting. And I need to get my editing class and stuff on out of the way because I've kind of been, oh Lord, just been tired.
I understand entirely.
Yeah.
And but thank the good Lord for keeping me alive, and I thank all the friends in Asheville that have supported me during this, and all the ones that's going to support me from now on. So I'd like to say congratulations to all our new representatives that we may possibly end up having come November. I know that each one of them fought a real good, hard, clean race because I don't remember too much of no cutthroating going on. Everybody kind of stick to the issues, and I can tell you right now, from a local citizen standpoint, we appreciate that. I think everybody's tired of mudslinging and signs sticking out and causing wrecks and stuff. And oh yeah, and you judicial people probably should be a little bit more careful about what you're doing there because you are breaking the law too. And them isn't your signs that's blocking, abusing, causing wrecks. So
Well,
you need to get out there and pick them up.
Yeah, or set them back. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, I talk like it is. I didn't put no signs out when I ran for the election. I think that the people were reading into that. They wanted somebody that wasn't cutting throats. They wanted somebody that wasn't spending money. I didn't spend 10 cents. I didn't collect 10 cents.
Oh, okay.
19,404 people voted for me, and I've been working real
Oh, you
hard
got
at
that
it.
many votes anyway. Cool.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder,
What,
scratch my head
from
myself.
word of mouth or what? I mean, people know you, or
I did
mean,
3 short paper interviews, thanks to each one of those papers. I don't remember the names sitting here at the table, but I'll remember them one day.
Now I see that
And
those.
a 30-minute radio with Matt Matan live.
Okay,
3
so
questions.
that probably helped get the word out. Okay,
I see that
yeah.
those brown sugar cubes.
Are good.
Well, they make they make a mess in the teacup.
Oh, yeah.
It says it's natural sugar. I reckon it is. It's
Yeah, sure.
highly unrefined.
Yeah, I guess it still has molasses in it or whatever. Yeah.
It looks like a little pulp as well of some sort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
maybe
thinking that
it'll-
looked
yeah,
like
maybe.
little orange pulp or something hanging on the side of the cup there.
I was thinking about
Make it difficult to wash now.
I was thinking about how the local candidates got out their messages this time, and Two people on URTV deserve a shout out, and that's Richard Bernier and Don Yelton.
I was going to say Richard.
Yeah.
Especially Richard. Richard
I was going to say
covered,
Richard, yeah. Go ahead.
Richard covered this election extremely well, and the so-called
He did.
mass media did not.
Right.
Right, and I'm
If it hadn't been for
thankful
Richard, we
for
wouldn't
that.
have known much about a lot of the candidates.
I'm
That's really
thankful
true.
for that. Now there was some confusion about evidently. I don't know if anybody knew it or not, but the results were continually updated on the county channel on Channel 2 while it was going on.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They were, and they were, every time you'd see a little flash, they were updating it as the precincts
Yeah.
came in. So I called actually Don a few times and told him where he stood in it.
Was that you calling?
I called a couple times. I live in that old beat up trailer, so I don't get good reception. It's probably,
Yeah. Oh,
But-
probably several people calling Don. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was. The phone wasn't not busy all night. It was just wide open, and people's rooting for him locally, and that's people on both parties, because they can see in his heart that he does care. He's not just one
Yeah.
of these folks that care about
I
the way
was
they
glad
want.
I was glad to see Don make the cut. He would make a good commissioner.
Well, I think that our county commissioners, and this is just Jeff Turner's perspective and nobody else's, I think, it's been whop-sided for a little while too
Yeah.
long, and I don't think that we've had good reasoning judgment going on in some of these places.
It has been lopsided. That's true.
Well, I'm not making no friends by saying that, but it ain't nothing at all. It ain't nothing the citizens don't know. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to work for the people. They elected me, and I ain't missed a day over there. I've attended all the meetings. I went to the school of government, just what I'm supposed to do.
Right. Well, you know what? That's a great idea, though. You're talking about having a show that gives the soil and water information
It's never been done. It's
And-
my idea, and I want to do it.
and local music.
Yeah.
Local soil, water, and music is a great idea.
Well, I think it's conservative,
And-
and I mean, a lot of the folks that do the arts are conservative type of people. I don't mean we can't be liberal with our, what we want to be liberal with, but most people around here in the hills are conservative, I would say, and that don't
Oh,
matter.
absolutely.
You know, whatever political party they are, they're generally more conservative than they are spendthrift.
Well, they're old school conservative. That's the thing. They are. A lot of people around here are true conservatives. Nowadays, people who claim to be conservatives or who represent conservative parties, I don't know where their heads are at.
No,
you know?
you kind of got to, I think it's just that they found that that's a good word that gets the door open for them, and then when they get in there, they kind of just, it's not what it seems.
Anything goes, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I'm not
noticed
one of
this.
those kind of characters at all. And now, speaking on soil and water, I'll give a little mini report right now. We just finished up this morning. We had our morning meeting, and they went and did the supervisor tour of Bowman County to make sure that the monies we've been granted out, to folks that are complying, and they all are.
Oh, okay.
I love folks getting those grants because we're cleaning the fecal matter out of the creeks, so we're cleaning up the water, and
you can
plus
get
that
grants
makes
for that. See, I didn't even know that.
there's grants. There's all kinds of grants out there that's available for people. They just don't know where to start digging to find it. So
Yeah.
soil and water actually is known statewide. They're wanting to be more known, but they kind of joke within themselves that they're like the secret government.
Yeah.
Because they're an independent branch of government responsible for certain statutes under the law, starting with Statute 136. And
Tell us about
I
Statute
can't quote
136.
it. It's
Well,
just that.
Oh, it's
Can you
big.
paraphrase? Can you give us the short
basically
version?
what
What's
it
it
is
deal
for
with?
conservation and watershed areas and things like that. And since the incorporation of soil and water departments over 70 years ago at the Brown Creek Station in North Carolina down here, the main focus has been to work with the government and maintaining erosion control, if not stopping it altogether, reseeding grassy.
Well, see, I'm dealing with all of that because I'm building
Oh,
a
our
house
depart-
on
our
a hill,
departments
and,
in-
and I have erosion and all those.
I don't know
issues.
how these folks feel about me because I was a newcomer to their office, but I will brag on them and say that they're the best set of professionals I've worked with since I was in the Navy, and I've said that to their face, and I mean it. They all know their job, and they know it extremely well. We have one of the best educators in the state working for us, teaching kids daily in these schools around here.
Let me say some good words about the soil people, because I have one of those caps that they gave to me like
to get you one.
about 25 years ago, and the reason why, I live on a farm out in Alexandria. Anyone who
Right.
watches TV knows that.
Yeah, our chairman lives out that way, Gary Roberts.
Yeah, well, I think Gary's one that gave me the cap, but Gary knows my wife real well. But we had a lot of cows on there, and we had several branches. Now, a branch is a small creek, or a creek's a large branch, depending on how you look at it.
Yes,
But
sir.
the cows would get down in it and get it all muddy, and stuff would go down the creek and into the French Broad and everything. And the soil conservation people came out and said if we'd fence off
The branches.
the branch so the cows couldn't get down into it, they'd build us a water tank so the cows would have something to drink.
Oh,
Right.
So they did that, and they piped from a spring on the farm into the water tank. This was back probably in the late 70s, and that's still working fine.
Well, our focus
great.
today is to work with the city and the county, and we do that daily on erosion control plans,
Yeah.
all these new storm water things that are catching storm water and diverting it off from flooding people. We're right in the thick of it, going just as hard as we can. We're pushing and backing any form of new green technology that does not go against any state regulations or health codes. So if you've got something that don't violate the law, you know, we're open to backing you on some of that stuff. So bring
Yeah,
it before
and
the
you
board
did,
and let's
and-
talk about it.
yeah.
And it's just all kinds of wonderful stuff. Besides the cattle and cleaning up the streams and stuff, you know, it makes the cattle healthier for not drinking bacteria laden water from
Now,
upstream.
the only problem we had, and the county solved this too, cows tend to slobber when they drink. That's
Right.
nature, that's what happens. And of course, that meant that algae would grow in the water tank, and it was pretty soon almost choking it up. So I called the county people and I said, "What do we do?" And they said, "Go to the store and buy you some goldfish and throw them in there." They said,
Really?
your spring feeds it, it keeps constant temperature year round, it doesn't freeze up, and the fish will thrive.
And the
sure
goldfish
enough,
will eat the
they
algae.
get that big, and in the 25 years or so we've had that tank, I've only had to replace the fish, I think, 3 times.
Oh yeah.
And they're still in there, and they're huge.
And they're
Huh.
controlling it just like the man told you, right?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was
They
saying.
keep
Where
the
you
algae
wanted
in.
to have the ponds for the
Eco-friendly.
runoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
should put some
know.
goldfish in there.
Maybe that would be a good idea.
And
Now,
they'll
Well,
also.
now, they don't need to be able to get out and get into your local streams, though. Those are comments, and it's advised against having anything getting infiltrated
yeah.
into your local streams.
Oh,
Now,
they
he's
can-
talking about in water storage tanks and things like that.
Yeah,
that
it
they-
has
but
no
it,
outlet other
yeah, it
than
has
through
to
a
be
little
closed off because
Right.
if it could get into the stream, it would be a foreign species.
We're talking about
Yeah.
we're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about like a holding tank for runoff water.
But if
Where
in
it
a
does-
flood it
well,
could
that's-
run off.
that's-
they-
so
where it
the-
doesn't run into the creek, it just I
Right,
mean,
well,
eventually the water gets to the creek.
We have the technology is probably since you got that stuff a long time ago, right, Ralph? It's probably since then the technology is really new and improved. They've got some big old new water storage tanks, complete systems on getting that water and maintaining it. Feed areas, we do feed shacks, we do waste management pools, all kinds of implements for the farmers to be able to use. So don't sell your farms, come down and see if we can't help you out before you make any decision like that.
Well, yeah. And they'll come out and talk to you for free or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, well you can come to our office and apply for grants. I mean we have just so many grants. It's hard. We have EEP, CCCP. We have so many grants I can't keep up with them. But
Oh,
the professional
see.
people in our office can help you, and they can define exactly what
Yeah,
you're
that's
needing.
what I was thinking. If I go in and talk to them, they could figure out what grants I might qualify for.
Right. Well, you may end up qualifying for several. You might not qualify for any. You know, it just depends on what that particular grant does and how it's applied under
That's
state
what
law.
I
Right,
thought.
for the
Each grant's
landowner.
different. Yeah.
Landowners, land
cool.
managers,
Picture.
companies, folks like that. Anybody that everybody's welcome to check, and then we can determine whether or not you're eligible. We have all the grants that go through. We have pass-through grants, and we have grants that the Soil and Water gives out as well. And so all that comes through there. And your obligation as a citizen is to get that grant is, a lot of times those grants are 75% cost share. In some cases, they're 90%, and then the farmer can actually take 10% on the tax deal, and he ends up getting these things for free.
Oh, because
But
you're
you
tax
do have to
deductible.
perform the work. There are requirements involved in it. They're not tough requirements.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for hillbilly folk like us, it's just
No,
nothing.
they asked us to build the fence, but they paid for the fence, so we
They
were glad
paid
to
for
do
it,
that.
right.
Oh, they paid for the fence too.
We paid
for all the
but they,
fences,
yeah, but
yeah.
you built it. But still, if they paid for it, I mean,
They
that's
paid-
a big
but
savings.
That fence is still
It's
there.
grown so much from
Yeah.
just erosion control that they probably, you know, that it's just so much more. And really, folks, you need to be in that office. You need to be calling on the phone to find out information, or stopping by in public. We're down there on Hilliard and Cox on the corner upstairs. I think it's 115, if I can remember right. Stop by, check in to see what we've got. We got paperwork.
Hilliard and
there.
Cox. Now, where is that? Hilliard.
There's-
Well, that's
Downtown.
right down.
Is it by the
town
courthouse,
here.
down below the
Down below
courthouse?
the old Sears on Cox. You remember the old Sears used to be there years ago?
Yeah. I'm
Right down past it
okay.
on the left. But yeah, stop by. What I was going to say about soil and water before I started talking about all this good stuff, all these grants and things, is that we have been working to complete our 5-year strategic plan for Buncombe County, and I'm happy to say that this morning we finalized plans on that, and it should be ready for review next month. And I'll try to get some extra copies to provide anybody who'd like one. Or you can call me at 828-216-6922, and I'll get your name, and I'll make sure you get a copy of that 5-year plan. It affects everybody. We've had a lot of input from county staff. We've had input from landowners and farmers and just general folks that just concerned about conservation. So it's all good. It's just
Well,
all
that'd be
good.
very helpful to get to know what the plan is.
Well,
but
yeah.
it may give you ideas, particularly if you're a large landowner. How about somebody who's not a large landowner, got maybe 3 or 4 acres of land, and they're building a house and stuff like that? What kind of, do you have any kind of things
We
that would
have
affect
new
them?
grants that are coming out every day that and right off the top of my head I can't name you one. I can bring paperwork in a week or two to show you some of those. And but yeah, we're trying to, it was just a community assistance type program, small grants for, you know, fixing up your waterway or maintaining your yard. There's just so many areas that you can get grants in. It's just it'd be a book that thick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See, I
well,
just
what-
was unaware of that. That there's
Well, that's
these
most
grants
of people.
were
Most
there.
of people in the state are unaware that we have 96 counties statewide out of 100 that have soil and water departments, and we have money in some of those counties every year that goes unused. And you know what happens to political unused money?
It was just spent anyway, right? Or do they save
Or
it for
you
next
don't,
year?
or you
or
don't
what?
get it back.
You don't get it, or it gets spent sometimes in an unwise manner.
And
just
it
to get
gets,
it
yeah,
spent.
or you don't get it back. You have to give it back to
So
the
we
government.
want the public
yeah.
to be aware that we have so many grants. I can't sit here and
Sure.
tell you all
How
of them,
about-
but
how about-
stop by and check into it. It's just
I
it's
don't
there
mean-
for you. It's your office. It's not my office.
Yeah.
It's your office.
How about
Alright.
building a trout pond? I don't mean to sound facetious, but I've wanted to do that for years.
Can I go fishing? We'll try to figure it out.
Well, here's what I'm saying. That's been a big concern to us: is steep slope development and runoff.
That was one of
Or-
the main things I ran my platform. That was the only thing I had anything to say
Yeah,
about.
and that's what I'm dealing with. I'm on a steep slope. I got runoff. I already hydroseeded, right?
Right.
But you know, there might be more work I could do. Maybe planting other plants on the hills might be a good idea. Or as I said, maybe catch bases or whatever. But
Well, and that's other things. We have information on all that types of
what I
work
was-
that you can actually perform. That's native species, you know, that
That's
are
what I'm
good for holding
thinking.
the soil and collecting that water.
But not
That's what I'm
kudzu.
thinking.
Not plant kudzu.
That's what I was thinking.
we got
Not
plenty of
kudzu,
that.
no.
Let
We
me
don't
tell
need
you-
no more
let
kudzu
me
unless
tell
you're
you-
going to farm
Yeah.
fields and acres of it.
Yeah, unless you're
let me
gonna
tell you
farm
this.
it,
Let me tell you guys this. Back in the 1950s, I still lived on the same farm we lived on as a little boy, and we had these gullies. You know, we had bad erosion. So the county extension agent, Buncombe County extension agent, came out, and he said, "We have just the thing. It's brand new. We're just starting to give the plants out. It's called kudzu."
Oh, no.
And we believed the
stuff.
county because the county's never wrong, right?
That's right.
So we planted that. And so far, we still got lots of kudzu.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
burned it, we've nuked it, we've bulldozed it. It keeps coming back.
And you can't dig deep enough to get that
No, you
taproot
can't.
out. If you break it off 4 feet down, it'll be back next week. So.
You have to drill for it, don't you? It's like drilling for oil.
It really is an invasive species, and of which we have 10 to 30 or 40 actual invasive species around
Yeah.
here right now that we're trying to, in the process of
Well,
individually eradicate each field. So we have information on that too. You may not know that some of the species
Yeah, that's what I
in
was
your
thinking. I
yard
might
are,
have some
are
invasive.
invasive.
Yeah,
but we
that's
have-
How
right.
about that pampas grass stuff? That what they call that their grass that grows big, that big African grass that grows.
elephant grass.
Maybe
Yeah,
you know.
there's elephant grass.
Is there any plans to try to eradicate that?
I'm not sure.
Do you know
That's
about
not
that?
what they. That's not the new grass they were talking about using as an alternative energy, was it?
I
I don't know. I think they were talking about what was that?
I don't think I'm familiar with that particular.
I can't. I want to say string grass or what was it? Whip grass, string.
Straw. Is that what it says?
What
Straw
was-
grass?
I
No,
don't remember the name, but I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
no, I don't think. I don't think it's the same.
Let me qualify what I said on kudzu. Yes, Buncombe County told us to do that, but extension agents all over the South was doing it. That's why you drive through Georgia, you know, it's green.
It's everywhere.
It's real green. It'll come out in the road after you. It's kudzu.
But now we've tried to actually we're getting a hold on that. There's a particular farmer I believe this past year, you know, when everybody else was having a problem doing hay because of the drought, that kudzu
Yeah.
didn't have a problem in the world, and he's down there. he's harvesting acres of it, and he
Really?
was baling it, and the
Yeah.
cattle are eating it. It's not
Oh.
as nutritious as the straw, but it was still a nutrient for them, and it was working. They were.
Oh yeah, they would
Well,
eat
so
it.
Cattle
Okay.
will eat it. Cattle will
Oh
eat it.
yeah, livestock will eat it. It's just that with that, the nutrients and the supplements contained inside of it aren't enough for a regular source of food. So you still have to supplement with grains, things like
Yeah.
that. But you know, a little molasses, good stuff.
And the cattle will eat it, but they won't eat it fast enough, will they? To get rid of it.
I haven't personally observed. No, not that quick. No, not these wild fields.
Goats can almost keep up with it. Goats will eat
Yeah, they
anything,
about as
but
easy as
they
fast
can't.
as
They
it'll
can't run
grow.
either.
Have
yeah.
you got any goats?
No, I got a cousin though that raises goats. I know all
You
about
got a
goats.
cousin. That was almost a good one.
Well, if you're born here in the
You
mountains,
goats
you do
and all.
have a cousin that raises goats. But I've got a second cousin that raises several hundred goats. He's big time in it.
Well, I know I'm not the prettiest thing in the world, but I had a cousin that told me I looked like a goat when I had a goat. Well, he was just being honest. He didn't mean nothing bad by it. You know. I know it looks like I woke up on the bad side of a flat tire. But listen, I appreciate the tea and the brotherhood here. I really do. I appreciate you letting us come
We
down.
appreciate
and,
you.
Yeah, we like
Well, yeah,
always
we
like
learned
it.
a lot,
Every
yeah.
time you come, we
I'm
always
trying not to bring no bad tidings or nothing, so. You know, it seems to, it's just, I really enjoy your shows, all three of them. So.
Are you somebody who would be a resource, or would that office be a resource that Casey Waters over here might want to check into for programs that for where he's looking to control runoff and make catch
I
basins and
think
stuff
that's
like
the
that?
best place to start, and if we don't have the information, we can get you to the department
Well-
for the need that you need.
Have you got a card or anything like that?
Well,
or
no,
you just,
but
No, I
this is
don't.
Henderson County. See, I'm
Oh.
in Henderson County.
Henderson
so
County has soil and water
That's
department
what I said.
too.
They have their own.
They have all the facts and information there, and paperwork
So
available
I
to
got,
you.
it's probably downtown Hendersonville. You don't know where, right?
Not right off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I ain't
but I
got
can look it up.
my list with me, but I do have that address at home. If you'd like to call me later, I can give that to you.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah,
I don't
I'll-
have that information with me in the car, or I'd get it for you right now. I'd be back in a jiffy, so.
Uh-huh.
But I was wondering if you'd
Yeah,
listen to
that's
one or
cool.
two of these.
Yeah, I could
You don't
find
have
it.
to do it on the air right now, but
Well, you wanna
is
hear
there a
one?
way that we can cut a copy of that?
No, that's okay. Thank you.
well,
Yeah.
maybe up in the editing suite. I don't know. I hadn't made any copies up there.
Yeah, that was just off a junky one in the basement. It wasn't recorded very loud.
Which number do you want?
Well, they're rock songs. Can you stand a rock song
Yeah,
right
which
now?
which number? The
Sure,
first
it's
one?
fine.
2, 3, or 4, either
Two?
one here.
Oh, there it is. Hello.
This is for you, sir.
Actually, do number 4.
Kurt says, no, you.
It's kind
Oh,
of
man.
Kurt
curved.
says you'll know what
Who's
to do
for?
with that or whatever.
Yeah,
Who's number
tell
4?
my preacher.
Well, I was sitting in the tower with my headset on. I'm talking to the pilots that were heading for home. I couldn't go landing on the runway, and they had dropped the gears and they were doing just fine. That's what had happened, exactly how it went. That's what I was doing in my earthquake kit. Exactly how it happened, exactly how it went. That's what I was doing in my couldn't leave my post on my buddies behind. The pattern was full, I knew they couldn't find the fish opened up on runway 10 as the glass began to shatter in the ceiling came in. That's what I was doing, exactly how it went. That's what I was doing in the earthquake kit. Exactly how it happened, exactly how it went. That's what
I think it was American Legion though, and there was Post 1. It was right near our house. It was up on Fireweed Lane or whatever. But anyway.
Yeah, you sound like you had a real interest. You kind of get around, don't
Yeah,
you?
I-
You organize games.
Yeah, I lived up there for
Just dotting
13
around, that's a
years.
good deal.
Oh yeah, it
I
was
listen
wonderful.
to you, man. I hear stuff, you know.
Yeah, it was wonderful up there. 13 years. Yeah, I had a lot of good friends up there. Wonderful times. Oh, it's just incredible.
I really like your Oak Ridge deal. I've watched it 2 or 3 times.
yeah.
Just try to catch different stuff about what you're talking about, the history of it and everything. I kind of really got in it. It seems
I
like
put a lot of history
my
into
uncle
those.
Paul helped build some of that over there.
Yeah,
He was
a
an
lot of
electrician.
people did. They built whole cities just to house the workers.
Right, yeah, there's a big,
Oh,
big
okay.
deal. Yeah, probably the whole west side of Knoxville sprung up
Yeah.
just 'cause of that over that way. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
What time is it there?
It's
6:17.
6:20.
No, if the show started at 2 a.m., it's 4:20. It's time for the 4:20 roll.
roll.
That's right. Here it is. Da 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 da. We're working on it. Okay. Okay, that would be it, wouldn't it now?
had all these viewing times you can